Welcome back to everybody for the Dave Knows Wrestling live stream. I'm your host, David Lee. Glad to be back. Glad to have everybody here, and welcome again. Well, when it comes to the Fridays, hey, pretty big show today because not only do we have Elimination Chamber this weekend, but we had Revolution last week from AEW. A lot of things happening in the professional wrestling world today. Ooh, a thumbs up right off the bat. Much appreciated for that. Kendall, tailor-made gift from above. Taylor, what up? Hey, Terrell, El Capitan Stupid Ideas, Arthur Pryor. That's right, you are El Capitan Stupid Ideas. Nice that you have given yourself that title. It's kind of weird that you gave yourself a title, but nonetheless, I will agree to that title, that you are El Capitan Stupid. True Sister, hey, AJ Envoy, my man. Dynamic Chess, hey. So, Vinny Montana, my man, my favorite wrestling YouTuber, says Dynamic Chess. Thank you very much. That means a lot. It really does, especially now. And, yeah, boy, not a lot of people watched the Wednesday video. Sad. Huh. So, Arthur Pryor, not that many people are going to know what we're talking about. Oh, my good man. Hope you are having a great day. I hope you are as well. Samurai Productions. Ben Espinoza. Hey, Daves. Hopefully Elimination Chamber is a good pay-per-view. And I'm surprised you didn't do a comic book live stream today. Yeah, really busy with the shoot job today, this morning, so wasn't able to come on. What's up, Ron Hawthorne? Thoughts on Revolution? We will definitely be getting into that momentarily. Oh, Base Up. You see that, AJ Envoy? He's talking to you. He's talking to you. Base Up's talking to you, man. Justin Lewis. Hey, Dave. Saw the PWI Awards. Ooh, what you think, Justin Lewis? Thoughts on Revolution? We will definitely be getting into that. Feels like forever since I've seen you, Dave. AJ Envoy, it feels like that too, even though it really hasn't been that long. What's up, Double A? Whatever that was. Good to see you as well. Terrell, if AEW moved to a new night, would they lose the war to NXT? Well, they wouldn't be warring with NXT if they moved to a different night, now would they? Hello, Pablo Aguilar. Speaking of comic books, thoughts on the new Batmobile? This is the car. This is the car. But it doesn't matter because they peaked with the Michael Keaton car. You're never going to get a Batmobile as cool as that. That's the Batmobile, end of story. They're beating NXT week in and week out. That is true. Luckily, I felt myself getting stupider watching that. It's not possible for you to be stupider. Plus, stupider is not a real word. But anyway. AJ Envoy. Yeah, AJ Envoy. Base Up's talking to you. Oh, he's talking to both of us. Oh, he's throwing both of us under that banner. For shame, Base Up. That's mean. There's no way Naito is less charismatic than Cody. Very different. That's a good question. Hey, yo, there's I do want to make sure that hopefully I don't forget. You know what I find funny, AJ Envoy? Why are Dave and I side? What you know what I find funny? I think because I don't think I am, but I do find it funny that if you're gonna call someone, I think the preferred term is size queens. Number one, because I don't have to keep unblocking it Base Up. But number two, if someone is indeed a size queen, instead of calling them a size Nazi, calling them a size queen is going to aggravate them more. So if you're going to attack them for it, you might as well do it right. So I'm just saying, just throw that freebie out there. So, yeah. Would people see it as a forfeit? They're winning. I don't see it how it would be a forfeit. I mean, they're winning. And I wouldn't say it a forfeit. If they move to Mondays or Fridays, then it wouldn't be a forfeit. It's just, hey, we're leveling up. That's what I would see it as. Pardon me, Mr. Dictionary. Well, there's no period after Mr., so you also failed on that front, too. Poor punctuation. Arthur Pryor. It's a shame. Anyway, so no, I don't think people would see it. It depends on what night they go on, and again, they're winning, so I wouldn't see that. And Mr. J Jr. introducing from the metropolitan section of Dudleyville, Mr. J Jr. Hey, Dave, what are your thoughts about Vince McMahon tearing up the script for Raw this week? And I'm surprised that AEW didn't use the song that was used for WWA called Revolution. It makes sense. Well, did they have access to it? AJ Envoy. Nope. Hold on. Hey, Base Up. I'm sorry. I want my wrestlers to at least look good. They don't have to be extremely tall, but at least give them, yeah, I hear you. Uh, do you think? And I think AJ Envoy's more indecisive than I am. I have a limit. I'm not saying that I don't. I do think it's a factor, but I'm not as strict about it as AJ Envoy. I agree with AJ's Envoy's principle, but I think his barrier is a little higher than mine. Do you think Vince souring on Shayna and Ronda showing up at W as anything would do? I hope not. I really hope not. What's your theory on why NXT is losing the ratings war? Okay, Justin, that's imagine if Impact and AEW did something together. That'd be interesting. Dave, why am I biased against AEW? Jake's Roberts cut a bro. I didn't say you were biased against AEW. Promo on Wednesday, but all I do poke holes in it and poke holes. Oh, you're asking me why are you so biased against AEW? Because you're a WWE mark. That's all there is to it. It's like this whole thing is just showing people like where they're at. I tend to notice though a lot of workers tend to be WWE biased. Not all of them, but they're a lot of workers like guys who've been working for a long time tend to be WWE biased. Number one, I think it's because they're trying to get their call up. I never said nothing bad about you. He. I love you, WWE. Smiles. But then also it's because when you're older school, you have a certain mentality, and WWE still does things to those mentalities. So I tend to think workers tend to be more WWE biased and more anti AEW. That's what I've noticed. Workers of a certain age, and I know I don't believe you're a worker, but nonetheless, that's also part of it. And then there are people who think AEW does all that glitters, all that's AEW is gold, all that's elite is gold. I'm kind of neither because I think that both companies have a lot of flaws. But yeah, why do I think NXT's losing the ratings war? Is a very good question, but let me try to catch up with the chat as best as I can. Any show not NXT would be mopping the floor with the main event would be killing. No, absolutely would. I mean, you just look at the numbers Raw are pulling in versus numbers that AEW is pulling in. It's not even close. Raw is over doubling it, and yeah, it's not even a contest. Arthur is probably angry at AEW picking up a bit of traction. They've been doing quite well recently. Probably. What are your thoughts on Vince McMahon not being high on Shayna Baszler? Definitely want to get into that again. Something else we gotta hold on. Dun 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 says Double A. Hey Dave, does Vince McMahon? Yeah. Try to remind me of these things. I do want to get into it, but one thing at a time. Also, Dave, you said Adam Cole can't be a world champion because he's too small, but that's true. I mean, nowadays, Kofi Kingston won, so who knows? But yeah, just in me, I don't see him as a world champion. I think they're all boring. Or not all boring, but they're shooting under par. They're lower than where they could be. I keep telling you guys I'm a charisma guy, but yeah, AJ Envoy, don't you get it? It's the internet. Once you get labeled as one thing, you are labeled one thing for the rest of your life. That's how it works. People can only remember one thing. You think they're going to remember 6 or 7 points? You think people are going to have coherent arguments and they're going to look at things in total? Do you think they're going to remember everything that you said? No, that's not how the internet works. Shh. Oh, Double A, would you stop it with that nonsense? First of all, this is a wrestling channel. Nobody cares about that kind of crap. And second of all, stop spreading that nonsense. That's stupid propaganda. We don't need any of that stuff here. We want our sensationalism in the ring. So, he's right, base up. Thanks, AJ Envoy. Hey, Dave. Vince McMahon tearing up script for Raw this week is super crazy. Yeah, super crazy. No, that's not what you meant. Ray won the World Championship. I know he did. The question is not who could he. Yeah, of course there are people who have. It's that, in my opinion, I don't see that. I don't see them as world heavyweight champions. The heavyweight part is still in my head, even if it's not on the title. And also, Ray, mass-wise, has got some on Adam Cole. So that also helps. There's another wrestling channel that did a whole thing about Kofi Kingston's chest, and I should check that video out. Oh yeah, matches that get from point A to point B with stories that make sense and don't insult your intelligence. Yeah, that's so old school. It's so passe. See, I don't think that's passe, and I don't think that's bad, Arthur Pryor. I liked that. But WWE doesn't do that either. Okay, so it's like people are like, yeah, this old school way of just telling stories, ring psychology. I don't know, that's a better thing. That's that AEW doesn't do that crap. So what do you want? It's like, yeah, that's true. AEW doesn't do that. But guess what? Neither does WWE. It's not that WWE does it, okay, because they don't. That's why I don't complain about wrestling as a whole. It's not like, oh, well, AEW definitely doesn't do that, so therefore WWE must. No, but the internet polarizing. Another thing that the internet does, shows a line in the sand. If this thing doesn't do this, that must mean the other thing does, and therefore it's right. No, that's not how it works. Charisma or wrestling ability? For me, it's wrestling ability because I think you can get charisma through wrestling ability. If you have cool moves and wrestle really well or whatever and have a lot of technical prowess or show off your wrestling ability, people cheer for it. Even if it's high spots and people criticize, oh, you're a spot monkey or whatever like that, it still gets you over. So you can make up for a lack of charisma with in-ring wrestling ability. True, it's also true on the other end that you can make up for a lack of wrestling ability to an extent with the mic work, but it's a lot harder because when you're physically in the ring, you can't really talk. I mean, let's put it this way. I know Cena, people have lightened up on Cena in recent years, which I think is good, but Cena's a guy who, regardless how you feel about him, he is competent on the microphone. I think that's fair to say. And his wrestling ability is definitely not great. Again, I think people are a little too harsh on Cena's wrestling, but nonetheless, his microphone skills never picked up. Like there was still a good half of the crowd that hated him, regardless of his mic ability. All right, WWE does it way more than AEW does. It does. WWE does do traditional storytelling and ring psychology more than AEW does. I wouldn't say way more. Easy on that, okay? Because I'm sorry. Look. I know people love it, and I'm not saying it wasn't bad. I'm not saying I wasn't entertained. But for example, Donovan Dijakovic, Keith Lee. How many finishers did these guys just kick out of? How many spots were there where the match was supposed to end and they kick out of? Let's not pretend like Ciampa, Adam Cole haven't been doing matches like that as well. There's plenty of that too. All right, we see plenty of people. New Japan does it as well. Okay, blame goes all across the board. Let's not act like a lot of people don't really sell anymore. In WWE, way more? No. Do they do it more? Yeah. It's pushing it, but yeah. Like a hair more. Way more, definitely not. Hey, Dave, but I do want to answer this question, why do I think NXT is losing the ratings wars? At this point in time, it's one thing is their star power is not being utilized to the best of their ability, I would say. Let's look at what AEW is doing. Now, and also to answer a little bit about my thoughts on Revolution. My first thing was I didn't think Jon Moxley should have won the title. I think it looks bad that you got two ex-WWE guys now with that belt. It's not. It is a problem I am worried about. I've been worried about it from AEW in the start. Again, that video that I made about it, just addressing certain points, some people got really mad about it. So, because you can never speak bad of AEW in any way, shape, or form. And even though I'm blatantly talking bad about WWE in that video as well, people, idiots like Arthur Pryor, I'm sure, just thought like, oh, you just hate AEW and love WWE. It's like people don't get it. I'm dissatisfied with both to a degree. Anyway, they are putting their top stars. Jon Moxley, Jericho, these are two of their top stars. There's no doubt about it, and they're in the forefront. Right now in NXT, would you say that Ciampa and Adam Cole are their top two stars? I don't think that's true. I think Velveteen Dream is probably the biggest personality they have. And I love Tommaso Ciampa. I love Adam Cole. I'm not saying that I don't. But Velveteen Dream is a major star. They're not utilizing him to the best of ability. Keith Lee is another one, and they're not. And I'm not saying they're not. And Finn Balor. I'm not saying they're not using these guys, but they're just not putting them in the main event. Where AEW, much to what my personal creative dismay, they are putting their guys, Cody, their top stars, their big names, with the exception of Kenny Omega. He's kind of laying low, but they are featuring them prominently in the main event. They are consistently there and topping the show. The guys who do the traditional kind of really wrestling stuff, they're kind of putting out there as best as possible and making them the focus of the show. I wish they would expand to other guys. I wish... and even MJF is beginning to at least pick up momentum, but I wish they did more things like that. But that would be one of my major differences. I think that NXT is reserving their stars, and you could say that they're slowly building towards something. But if that's the case, that's why they're losing now. So I think it's right now NXT is holding back on some of its on some of its gains. Like I think when in pro wrestling, strike when the iron's hot kind of guy. Let's look at Braun Strowman. He was hotter than a pistol. They hold off, they hold off, and they hold off. Now it's too little, too late. Then you become Kane. Ryback, same thing. There was a period of time. Now, I was glad to see CM Punk's title reign was long. Was happy about that. But it was the same thing with Ryback. He was hotter than a pistol, and then they let him cool off. Sometimes you got to strike. Hey, peace to you, Muhammad. Sometimes you got to strike when you got to strike, and they kind of don't. AEW is for maybe it's not the best long-term strategy. Maybe there are other issues that will happen as a result of it. But AEW is putting their biggest guns forward most of the time. They're putting 9 out of 10 of their biggest guns right on the forefront, where NXT, on the other hand, is keeping them to the sideline and putting it with Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole. Now, Ciampa, once upon a time, I think, when he was a heel, he was one of the biggest things going on in wrestling. He's definitely cooled off, especially as a babyface. The injury did kind of stifle his momentum. Adam Cole, I like Adam Cole. The UE is kind of run their course. Adam Cole is kind of not the megastar up on the forefront as he could have been, as he was. They're kind of a little bit behind at this point. Muhammad says JBO should never be in the Hall of Fame. It's up to you. As I said, everybody's getting in. No mercy. Cobra Kai, what? Or the video game, what are we talking about? Kenny Omega should leave AEW and go to WWE. Maybe he won't be buried like you. Are you dumb in the face space up? Yeah. Kenny Omega's definitely, yeah. Outside talent going to WWE, yeah. There's no chance he'll get buried there. Are you kidding me? Kenny Omega goes to WWE. They may AJ Styles him, but most likely they'll just sting him. That's my prediction. Dave, if WWE were to have that mass appeal, about 30 internet favorites, do you think it would flood the market because a lot of the indie guys are displaced? No. In case we've forgotten, WWE right now is mostly made of indie guys. Their main event scene: AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens. The list goes on and on. WWE is a company now made of just former indie guys, but that's just how you work. You take the guys who were the indie guys and you make them into the forefront. So no, I don't think that would be a bad idea. And for AEW, I think it fits their motif a lot better. Dave, what role do you think Jeff Hardy will get when he returns? Babyface, for sure. They'll let him ride out his contract. They'll let him go, too. I don't think they have any desires to keep him or stopping him from leaving. I think, well, other than what they're currently doing. But I think Jeff will leave eventually. They're going to use him kind of sparingly, I see. Dave, I have no idea what Base Up is talking about today. No, remember, he's like 70% troll, so... he said nasty things about WWE. Yeah, well, a lot of people do. And yet they get in anyway. Bruno Sammartino said stuff about WWE. He's in. So Larry Zbyszko said stuff about the Hall of Fame, and he's in. So, I think he's in, at least. Why would they sting him? He would press charges. No. I mean, like the wrestler sting, fool. The word buried is used way too much. That's fair. Good night. Need to sleep. Catch you guys later. Well, thank you for stopping in, Muhammad. Good to see you. Who says WWE wants Canada? That's not the point. It was that's fair too. Who says they want him? I think they do, seeing the fact that he was on up, down, down. But I think they take him. I mean, they may not want him, but they'll take him. But here's the other thing. And plus, WWE is making a habit of just taking guys for the sake of taking guys just so other people can't have them. And if you don't think, if they could take somebody from AEW, one of the major components of the Elite, if you don't think WWE would snatch that opportunity, and plus, they've made him offers in the past. But if you don't, allegedly, reportedly, the WWE has offered him things in the past. But if you don't think don't think they'll snap it up, if not for nothing, just to spite AEW. If you don't think Vince will do that, then I'm sorry. I very much disagree, because I'm pretty sure Vince would. WWE legends, former indie guys? Some. I mean, they're like Braun Strowman for the most part is a homegrown guy. Velveteen Dream did wrestle outside of NXT briefly, but for the most part, he's kind of a homegrown guy. There are some people who are homegrown talents. This is a plus, but Enzo Amore. But yeah, so there are a lot of people. And it also depends on your definition of indie. But yeah, mostly wrestlers do start out at some point in time. Nobody has, like, very few people have their first match ever in WWE. Very few people have their first match in, AEW, in WCW or whatever. Yeah, you work up the process. But when we talk about indie guys or indie darlings, it's someone who made their name for themselves in the independent scene. It's like, trying to think of a good example here. like Prince Devitt made a name for himself in New Japan, and I know that's not really indie, but still, and most of the companies were not indie. But Finn Balor, Prince Devitt made a name for himself outside of WWE. So AJ Styles made a name for himself outside of WWE. But then you got guys who, like, I mean, he's doing it currently, but Sonny Kiss, I would also say, like, yeah, he's not in WWE now, AEW, but you get my point. But he's somebody who was known before he got to AEW. Were you a fool? Maybe I did. Double A. Can some American explain why WrestleMania has a pirate theme this year? Hey, man, you live in England, and that's where a lot of pirates came from. If anything, you should explain to us why it's a pirate thing. Daniel Bryan. Yeah, Daniel Bryan's another guy who made his name. I'm trying to think of a guy who didn't make a name for himself in the independent scene. But like Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream didn't really make his name in the independent scene. It's like, yeah, he dabbled with it, but he wasn't a name until he got to WWE. Of course, the Dream has no memory of that. Sami Zayn, perfectly good example. He's a homegrown WWE talent 100%. 100% homegrown WWE talent from the ground up. On a side note, El Generico was very popular in Ring of Honor, and it's too bad that he doesn't wrestle anymore. Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to say. Corny Becky. I don't know, what's your beef with Becky? Someone would take that fool that jumped off a third-story balcony in the mall. Oh, yeah, because they don't have anybody who jumps off of balconies, huh? Yeah, they never hide people like that, Arthur. Orton, John Cena, Batista, and Edge. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Great. Yeah, you just pimped those out. Yeah, great example, Space Up. Absolutely. Dave, we can talk about how Becky's fire is dying out. It's been dying out. The Rock was homegrown. Yes, he was. Why did Abyss never bring his talent to WWE? He came close. He came close one time, but just never happened. Just stars don't line up. Nope, Dave, think about it. Kenny Omega leaves AEW and goes to WWE. That would shock the wrestling world for Kenny to leave a company he helped start to go to the enemy. Vince isn't dumb. He would use this. I agreed with everything until the last sentence. Yes, it would make perfect sense, and a smart person would utilize that for Kenny Omega if that happened. But let's not pretend like Vince McMahon hasn't done dumber things before. Let's not pretend like Vince McMahon didn't just piss money away when he bought WCW, because they could have gotten so much more out of that than what they received. But he just completely trashed it. I'm just saying, let's not forget Vince's track record. If you become like that dude for his competition, he's not gonna look too fondly on you. Sometimes he does. I've made 2 videos about it, but still, it's one of those things. Hey, Dave, did you know that Sabu faced Scott Taylor in 1993 in the WWE? It's on the network as a hidden gem. That better be an amazing match, or else the term hidden gem has been used way too much. 15 former WWE superstars aren't in AEW. Very good calculation there, Harry. Thank you for that. Missed my point completely again. Well, you're not really worth paying attention to, Arthur Pryor, but I'll read your dumbass comment again just to see what you're saying. I guess we should applaud the fact that you've learned to, type. Yeah, sure, they take them. Someone would take someone who jumped off a third tier. So what's your point? What's your point, dummy? AOP, Enzo Amore, Big Cass, Rusev. Yeah. I want to count Lana. I know what you're getting at, but Lana, really, you're throwing Lana at us on this one. WrestleMania in Tampa, Florida this year. The city's NFL team is the Buccaneers, so they put, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. That is the reason, but still, nonetheless, I think it's weird. Did Becky rip off Conor McGregor this week? Don't know. Maybe. She's an absolute clown trying way too hard. She's a tryhard? Yeah, she's just trying to reinvigorate. Personally, I think it's the Twitter game. Get back on the Twitter horn and start talking your promo on Twitter. And plus, she kind of ran out of people to punk out. Like, that was the thing. Like, Charlotte had a comment, like, we're sick of Charlotte. Becky, do that thing. And then now it's like, all right. You got no one else. No one else who's been asking for it. Sure, fire moneymakers. Vince rarely. He would push Kenny like he did AJ Styles. there's a lot of evidence to it, but I don't know that he would because Vince can be unpredictable. Vince sometimes does things that make no sense. Nakamura was a moneymaker. He doesn't push him. Was being the key part of this component. NJPW is better at making homegrown talents than WWE. Well, yeah. WWE is depressingly becoming like the Yankees, and that makes me sick. You know, they just keep taking people from elsewhere, and if you were like an enemy of theirs that really aggravate them, they'll get you with a paycheck, and then they'll just crap all over you. And they just can't develop homegrown talent to save themselves. Like they can barely do it. It's just one of those things. For you baseball people, that is going to probably register some sort of response by some. This is it's going to be one of the rare things that I think Arthur Pryor is going to just nod his head and go, "All right, well, I'm with you on this one." You homegrown. Abyss is an agent for WWE now, I believe. Oh, Ron, there again. Revival is also homegrown. You think Ricochet is really buried or no? I mean, he's buried, but like, can he stay that way? Who knows? Hopefully, he can climb out of it. Anybody would take anybody that doesn't make them worth going after. But yeah, there are reports that they have made offers before, Arthur. That's the part you keep missing. Look, Arthur, you're one of the only people here who think that if Kenny Omega was an option for WWE, WWE isn't taking him. If you honestly think they're just not going to take him, okay, fine. I'm not going to bother convince you. Everybody else knows you're an idiot. Everybody else knows that you're the only person on the planet who thinks Alexa Bliss looks like an old lady. You're stupid. You prove it every time. And you know what? There's an old adage. It's better to be silent than be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. Arthur Pryor, you remove doubt like there is no tomorrow. Arthur Pryor, you are a shamble of a human being, and nobody should validate you or listen to what you say. Anyway, what do you think about the Yankee comment I made? Were you on the same side about that, buddy? Who has the best look in WWE currently? I say Braun. The dude's like a mountain. And yes, base up. Go ahead and make the size comment. New Japan is more stringent about homegrown talent. They prefer to train guys brand new. Yeah, they do. Their system, but WWE has a performance center, and the performance center arguably is one of the better training facilities for professional wrestling there is today. With the healthcare, the pre-healthcare, the injury prevention, the facilities, the rings meant for practicing moves. Like they have the high flying ring that has like the foamy thingies that makes it softer for landing. All these kinds of ideas. There's so much out there to help people train. And it's like, why do they have so few homegrown talent? It's like they kind of want you when you've already got some seasoning on you. They feel like teaching you from scratch. But their facilities are perfect for teaching guys from scratch. So I find it very odd. Ricochet, good realism, no charisma. He's bland. I think they made him bland. He doesn't have to be. Cody Rhodes' heel's turn is coming. I can smell it. Well, that neck tattoo is definitely heel turnish. Let me scroll up. Let me see if Dummy said anything in his response. Or did he just run away and leave with his tail between his legs? Well, make your point clear, Dummy. Vince hated Humberto Carrillo at one point in time. David Boyd in Hall of Fame. Hopefully. Arthur Pryor is leader of the Troll Patrol. He absolutely is. Damn, David went on Arthur. He never did that to me. Because you don't say as outlandish, stupid stuff as Arthur Pryor. You have some semblance of sense. Beef Mountain. Arthur is definitely the Joker today's Batman. I am the Knight. Batman. Oh, Tony Stark's pretty and all, but I don't go bananas over her. I used to sever Sir Stephen James, but now I will. All right, Double A wants to be an Arthur Pryor. Oh, there he is. I thought I shooed you away, but Arthur Pryor has finally responded. I think online echo chambers, polarized fan bases are ruining wrestling. I do and I don't. Like, the polarization, that's just the internet for you as a whole. Does it aggravate me? Absolutely. I don't think it's ruining wrestling. I think the booking problems are what's ruining wrestling. Would WWE more successful in Japan than New Japan? No, I think if they could have, they would have already. Arthur Pryor says, yeah, they would take him. Sure, they would take him when they try. to get him 2-3 years ago. If he was able to go there now, magically somehow, I doubt they would be tripping over themselves too. Jury? Do I have to be the soul? You know, everybody said it. Everybody said it. Except now, Double A wants to team up with the idiot. Because Double A just loves, he just can't help himself. He has to be a troll for whatever reason. I wish RVD signed with AEW. So, yeah, I would like that too if it happened like, you know, we could get like RVD like 10 years ago or more. At this point in time, it's a little hard for RVD to be RVD, you know. Is there a wrestler nowadays that fully described what you picture as an ideal wrestler? A few close ones. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, really. Like maybe Velveteen Dream. Because he can play a character very well, and he's a great wrestler. And he's got a good look to it. A good look to him, too. Look, and not for nothing, he's not 100% there, but Randy Orton, especially after Monday, killed that promo on Monday. Really, really liked it. But, yeah, let me not get too bogged down. Not perfect, but great gimmick. Ring work is on point, I believe. Service. Yeah, as close as I get. Randy Orton, he's a little older, but, yeah, Randy Orton, I got to admit, I wish his ring work was a little better. I wish he cared a little bit more, to be honest, but there you go. Triple H won. I know Harry Flynn, but tell it to Arthur. Arthur swears up and down that that's not true, and he knows it, and that he says everything in a condescending kind of way, so it makes it sound like he knows what he's talking about, even though he's giving you zero evidence or whatever or logic to pull him up. All you gotta do is just be sarcastic and dismissive, and it sounds like you're right all the time. Because people have this need to assume that arrogant people are right. No, you're right. Yeah, no, Kenny Omega, yeah, fine. It may have been a couple of years ago, but today there is no... If you're telling me they're going to trip all over themselves to get him, okay, fine, whatever. Like, yeah, now I sound like I know what I'm talking about. And you're like, well, man, he makes me feel stupid. He provided no evidence. He has nothing. He has nothing. We don't really have a lot either, but the reports out there said that they were already trying to sign him. That's more evidence to the good than he's bringing to the table. All he's doing is just being dismissive. Randy Orton would hurt if they lost him. Oh. To a degree, yeah. Lost him or if he went somewhere else. Because Randy we've been on a good streak, but there's been periods of time where Randy Orton's been hurt and we just don't see him. And I kind of forget he's not there, you know? Okada has one problem. His finisher is not protected. Yeah, well, that's New Japan for you. They have to clarify. I meant engaging with fans has gotten harder due to polarization. This is pretty much the only place where I can find cordial, intelligent discussion. Thanks for that. You're welcome, Ron Hawthorne. And yeah, Know It All Nation is great. Even Arthur Pryor. Would AEW be #1 wrestling brand by the end of the year? No. No, Double A, no. That's the internet for you. But again, I talk about this all the time. What you click on is going to get you most likely more of that. Every time you click on something, the internet wants to give you more of it because it thinks that's what you like. So if you click on arguments or outrage or things that polarization stuff, you're just going to get more of it. It's just going to feed you more and more of that because that's what it thinks you like. So everything, Big Brother's watching. So you just got to make sure that, like for me and my sources, I don't click on inflammatory things or controversial things or you've seen me on this channel with what Double A brought up earlier. I get mad when it's just like, this is propaganda nonsense that I don't care about and I don't need to know about and it has no place here. I just kind of avoid that so I don't get any of it. I go out of my way, like YouTube recommendations. I make it very clear I have zero interest in news. Don't give me breaking news. I don't want it. I don't care. I wouldn't go to YouTube for my news in the first place. And second of all, I don't want it, even if I was coming here for it. Do wrestling fans know the meaning of the terms overrated and underrated? No, they don't. WWE won worse because, for me, how you know that wrestling fans as a whole, the community as a whole, don't understand the terms, the O word or the U word. They don't understand them is because I've seen. This is my best example for it. Is that Dolph Ziggler has been called both at the same time by different people. Someone would say, Dolph Ziggler is the most underrated guy on the roster. It's so ridiculous. They wasted momentum. He's so underrated. And then somebody would say, I'm tired of all these people saying he's underrated. You know what? I think Dolph Ziggler's overrated because I keep hearing about how underrated he is. And then other people are going to respond to that saying, he's so underrated because idiots like you keep saying he's overrated. And it's like, it's just a Ziggler cycle. Meanwhile, maybe he's just rated. Maybe both of you are wrong. Both of you shut up. Like, that's the kind of goofy thing about it. And yes, Harry Flynn, he is a dingbat. I think Impact would instantly be the mix with WWE Independent Wrestling in Australia if he went there. You were on some other stuff today, Arthur. The only reason WWE is still on top wrestling company is because of old guys like Orton and Hardy. Without them, they are just plants. Troll Patrol kicking in strong. So, according to the Wrestling Observer Newsletter 2019 Awards, Baron Corbin is the most overrated wrestler of 2019. I don't want to argue it. I just hate how easily arguments start up. Yeah, no, I do too. And I've talked about this as well. Like, people have this weird thing about the internet. You read things, you tend to read things aggravating. What? I wasn't trolling. WWE's on top because they're the biggest company. They have the best distribution. It's the easiest to find them. They're the best promoted promotion. They have the biggest manpower. They have the most money. They have the most stars. All these things line up. These are all the reasons why WWE is WWE. Plus, they have the name recognition. They've been around the longest. NWA has been around the longest, but this iteration of the NWA is very different from what the NWA started. But outside of the NWA, they've been around longer than Impact. They've been around longer than New Japan. They've been around longer than AEW by a long shot. That speaks a lot for a product. Boo, Double A. Boo. Oh no, Arthur Pryor going below the belt on Harry. Oh, Harry, you got me again. It's not worse than WWE. Forget about worse or better. Just saying, like, where we're staring at. Just putting it to that. I don't think we're talking about, but it's different shows for different folks. What's new number 2 promotion to WWE? It's easily AEW right now. Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument for New Japan still, but I think it's AEW. I think they're winning in the number 2 spot. I can't wait till Vince shows up on AEW television saying that he's bought them, and Shane enters the arena saying that, yeah, do it right this time. TNA or Impact is better. Impact was better was good for a while, but look, Raw is not great, but it is getting better, and Impact to me is getting worse. That Raw Van Dam segment really didn't sit well with me. I'll start there. That is how you spell it on this planet. Arthur, he's kidding. He's saying that you meant to say Justina when you said Nikki Bella. He's getting at you. I'm not a heel. Why are you booing? You know you love Uncle Double A. Boo! I mean, wrestling-wise, Raw is saving WWE, but as marketing, WWE is the best. Yeah. Saving WWE? That's an interesting one. What if Impact bounced back from they go through? I mean, they could. I mean, look, unfortunately, a lot of Tessa's momentum got cut out from under her because of all the allegations against her, which is a shame because I think that was something they could have platformed a lot better if those allegations never came out. But outside of that, what's going on in Impact as a company? What else do we really got? That's my thing here. It's like, where do we go now? Hey, Dave, did you speak about what Bully Ray said on Busted Open? Shout out to Dave LaGreca, by the way. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but there was an episode, I think it was at least one show, but there might have been 2, where he wore a Dave Knows Wrestling shirt on it. I think the downside is everyone just assumed he was talking about himself. They're like, well, that seems it was plugging my channel. I don't know if anyone caught that, knows it, or cares. But he has mentioned me. Anyone? Did anyone ever catch that? Or no one? All right. Anyway, no, he's just, no, Arthur, he's just, never mind. Make me sad. Stop going. Okay. All right, sorry. Yay, Double A. Double A. There you go. What Raw is awesome? Rollins is easily one of the top heels in wrestling right now. Then eventually, top heel, Orton, top heel. Sorry. Orton wins this week. My answer for everything is Orton. Now, yesterday I was on the Royal Rumble radio show, and they have a segment that they like to end the show with, Over Not Over, where you talk about one thing in the professional wrestling industry that is not over for you that week, and one thing that is. I didn't give it as my actual answer because someone else answered. So here's what happened. I said easily my favorite wrestling thing all week long was Randy Orton. The promo he cut, the logic he finally gave, the explanation, the slow burn on it, and the eventual ending of what he did to Beth Phoenix was perfect. That was the best wrestling-like thing we've seen. Old school wrestling psychology, heel stuff. That's exactly what I was looking for. Randy killed it this week. Randy's on top. But because the guy who went before me said that, I wanted to at least say something different, and I cleared it up. I made it very clear because I said it in the beginning of the week in the show. I said that was my favorite wrestling thing. But then when the guy said it, I said, "All right, that is my answer." But just to say something different, my answer for Over Not Over was MJF giving the little kid the middle finger. So good heelery this week, guys. Heels, you won this week. That's what I would like to say. Based on I don't care what you take seriously. Thank you, son. Good to see you. Your other parts are too small for anything else. Can't be mentioned on. Wow, this is getting personal, Arthur. Yeah. Randy knew that he was going to hit the arcade. Yeah, but it was perfect. You anticipate. You knew what was going to happen. But like the logic behind why he did what he did was just perfect thing. And I said Randy Orton is one of the few guys who could have pulled that off. The only other guy I think who might have been able to get away with that angle is probably Kevin Owens back when he was a heel, back when, not when he was like, there are many heel iterations of Kevin Owens, but I mean like when he was that psycho heel, like when he just beat the living crap out of Sami Zayn and was going nuts. That kind of the psychotic Kevin Owens. Like I think he's the only one who probably could have done that other than Randy Orton, but I'm glad Randy did it. Hey Dave, how you been, pal? Is Ricochet buried because I feel he needs a polish and a character, maybe a heel turn. No, I don't want to give it a heel turn. Yeah, he's being buried. It's a shame. Shame for RKO on Beth. Brought the segment down for me, honestly. I hear you, but see, I don't have this problem with seeing it coming. Like a lot of people say, well, you saw it coming, it's boring, it's predictable, or whatever. There have been studies that say sometimes spoilers or anticipatory things actually make things more satisfying. That your brain is expecting it, and then when you get it, it's the satisfaction things, like those stupid videos of balloons popping and crap that, people watch for whatever reason. There is a completed method. There's a completion. There's a satisfaction with it going to that level. And even though we knew it was coming, even though you knew, as soon as they were both in the ring, it's like, he's going to do it. It's like, how could he not do it? He's Randy Orton. He's that much of a dick. He would do that. It's like, he's going to. It's one of those kinds of things where, he RKO'd Stacey Keebler for crying out loud. You think he's not going to RKO Beth Phoenix? Of course he would. That's the thing. Like, that's his brain. Dave, you forget that Randy Orton is doing the same thing that Triple H is doing to Shawn Michaels. No, it's very different. Because I don't remember Triple H giving a pedigree to Whisper or whatever frickin' Nitro Girl Shawn Michaels is married to. There's a Whisper? What was it? Nitro Girl Bad Choices? What's her name? I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean. They bring back Prince Puma. I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Top 5 best ice creams. They rotate for me. You can't ask me that question. It's too hard. I have like I have like 5 flavors that I rotate with. Is Rick Morris being elevated? I hope not. I hate how people are mad at Randy for doing Nargato Beth. Like, get over it. But no, people should be mad. It's just reeling in the marks. Get them. It's like the MJF middle finger. Eat it up. But I do love how that was played up. And I love that Cody played it up saying that. Cody played it up perfectly, saying that, yeah, he's a young, immature idiot, and he does stuff like that. We should have known better than putting him out there. Cody put him over. It's like everything about the small thing put him over. And I often talked about this. A lot of people seen that backstage picture of Triple H. He made the little cry and gave the kid a hug. Sasha Banks made Izzy cry one time and then hugged Izzy and said, I'm sorry, kind of thing like that. No! If you're a heel, you got to make little kids cry. 1990, Undertaker, gong, lights go out. All the 6-year-olds are crying in the dark. Lights come on. You want to see Undertaker going, I'm sorry, it's just an entrance. I don't mean nothing by it. I'm not really going to, I don't know why Undertaker was a caveman in that situation, but you get my point. The thing is, what, do you want that? No! Undertaker walks by, make the little cry. Then he looks at him, rolls up their eyes, make him cry some more. That's what you got to do. Take that, 6-year-old. That's what you get for not being older than 6 or 5 or how old you were when you cried at the Undertaker. I knew someone. I used to work with this girl. Her older brothers loved professional wrestling, and when she was a little girl, and Vader would come out, she would scream and hide under the coffee table, like when she was a little girl, when she was like 5. Vader scared the crap out of her. You know, not even with the elephant mask, even WWF, Vader just scared the crap out of her. That was what Vader did. You know, and that's the thing. And so the brothers would say, okay, he's gone, like mute the TV. Okay, he's gone now. You can look again. And when she come out, she's still there. And they're like, ha, 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 ha. And she'd run on the table. That's what you got to do. I'm sorry, all right? That's part of the fun, little kids. Part of it's getting scared. I was there. Pay your dues. When I was a little kid, was there anyone scared me? No, because I ain't a punk. But if I was, the point of the matter is that's what your purpose is there for, is a heel. So good for that. All right? I think that's what heels got to do. Hold on. I got to be right back. Don't go nowhere. I will be returning. Whoops. That was the comic book background. My bad. I have returned. I am back now. Okay, so what did I miss? I know there are a bunch of things that we want to talk about. Curry from Nat Light is kicking in, boys. Okay, that took a while. Dave's the kind of teacher to take a nacho off a student and munch on an infant. This is an oddly specific thing, dynamic chess. Dave, I was perfectly fine with what MJF did to the kid. I found it great because MJF is playing a heel and doing it. Yeah, I'm with you. That's what you should be. And one real homegrown main eventer, and that was Bobby Roode. What do you think? TNA main event guys are all top stars and other promotions before going to TNA. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe were main eventers of Ring of Honor. Dave, what kind of teacher? I have never. Can't prove otherwise. Dave is the stingray we need, but the stingray we don't deserve. Thanks. NJF on the news was great, and well, work the news, people. Work 'em. Moxley is champion. Really happy about that. Yeah, as I said, might as well get into what I thought of the pay-per-view. Pay-per-view was interesting. One major question that it was on the minds of some astute people watching is, what cut MJF open? Not saying, yeah, we know the answer is a gig, but what move? Why was he bleeding? You know, this is something that, in terms of storytelling and ring psychology, some eagle-eyed people who know the business think that there was a miscommunication or a failed handing off of said blade, and it didn't really work because storyline-wise, it just kind of happened. It's not 100% clear. It wasn't very obvious, like, oh, that one got him. Like, you know, but for AEW, I think you can get away with that. WWE, I think WWE fans would be a little more harsh and criticize it for it. But if you're an AEW fan, did you even notice it? Did you even think about it? Or do you not care? Oh, he's bleeding now. That's fine. How many women have taken the RKO? Moolah, Stacy, Vicky, Trish, Stephanie, Nia, and Beth. I am so disenchanted. Oh, don't forget Shawn Michaels. I am so disenchanted with WWE because of Vince McMahon being such a control freak. Yeah, that does bother me as well. I may just skip this weekend's pay-per-view. I won't, just because I like torturing myself. No. Stingray's lame. Dave, do you get what I mean when I say that? I'll just assume no. Randy Orton, AKO, homegrown main eventers. Apparently not. How does Vader scare someone? Undertaker and Kane scare me. I don't know. She was a little girl. She was scared of Vader. What do you want from her? Little girls are scared of whatever they want to be scared of. Or, well, whatever they are scared of. I don't know if anyone wants to be scared of something, but you know what I mean. You have been scared of stupid George the Animal. I've been scared of stupid George the Animal Steel before they made him a joke on TV. No, I wouldn't have. Dude's a gym teacher, all right? Here's the other weird thing about me as a kid. As a kid, like, nothing fazed me out. I got more, like, skeeved out by things as I got older, you know. Because I saw Terminator, the first one, like, not in theaters, but when it came out on home release, I saw it right away, like, when he's cutting out his eye and everything. And when I was a little kid, I'm like, it looks so fake. Like, it didn't even bother me. So things like, certain things didn't scare me. Like, certain things that you think, so stuff like that wouldn't scare me. So, like, wrestling, don't get me, stuff did, but, like, wrestling-wise, I wasn't going to be afraid of things. There wasn't going to be a wrestler that would freak me out and scare me. Like, I would just look at it like, oh, it's wrestling, it's cool. But, as I said before, I was scared out of my mind from the movie It. That movie freaked me out. I only saw the TV movie on ABC. I only saw the first half. Never even bothered with the second half. And, by the way, that movie's stupid. All of it's stupid. Thanks, James Bellflower. I'm glad you caught that. Jim Cornette thinks it was because he isn't good at what he did under the ring, so nobody could see it. Yeah, yes. Okay, so you guys did catch it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that is what happened. But saying, like, storyline-wise, what was the thing that did the thing is the question. You remember him, but where do you remember him mostly from? Justin Lewis, enlighten us. What are you talking about? Candyman, Candyman. Jeff Hardy is backstage at SmackDown tonight. Ooh. Child's Play still freaks me out. See, that was the other thing. I could never get behind that. It's a freaking doll. Plus, you know, like, it's a doll. like when I saw that, I'm like, what? Even as a child, I'm like, this seems dumb. And here's the thing: I have friends than me that were older than me that were scared of that movie, and they said, because I had like these two old guys, they're way bigger than me and several years older than me. And when we were talking about Child's Play, I talked about how stupid it was. They said, it's because you don't have an older sister, man. You don't understand. Like, sisters, like, they have those freaky dolls. Okay, hang tight. I will be right back. I have returned. I am back now. Where were we? The principal for calling security. Stingray's on the scene. I am confused. If Stone Cold is out, he will wrestle one more match. Who would you like to see him go against? Well, it would have been CM Punk, but I guess that's over with. The ship has also sailed on this one, but once upon a time, Brock Lesnar. Definitely don't want to see that now. I don't want to see it, but I would love it if Austin came back to face Goldberg to get that '90s Attitude Boom era, WCW Boom period kind of match out the way, and the bell rings, and all he does is just stun him and pin him, and it's over. And it's like Goldberg does Goldberg just whiffs the spear, Austin just throws him out of the way, or he goes for the spear, and Austin just kicks him and stuns him, and that's it. Just demolishes, squashes Goldberg. I would just laugh hysterically, and I would be so happy if that happens. It's like he already beat Shawn Michaels. He has beaten Triple H, not as many times as he should have. Yeah, beat Goldberg while we're at it. Dave, Chucky was a doll that knew voodoo. Oh yeah. So anyway, yeah, my friends who were older and bigger than me, they said like they had older sisters and they had those like weird old dolls that girls don't really get anymore, but those old like I guess Victorian porcelain dolls or whatever. And they said like in the middle of the night, those things, their eyes would just open and it would freak you out. So they said like for them, they know what it's like as a little kid to like be scared of a doll because they see that stuff like just pass by your sister's room and it's dark and all of a sudden eyes open and just and run and stuff. So like being like Annabelle, all that stuff makes sense to them, and because of it, like brings back their like childhood PTSD and Child's Play, Annabelle, that stuff registers with them. That freaks them out. But so they say that's why I'm not scared of it because I never had older sisters. And again, you have to be of a certain age because like little girls don't get those weird dolls anymore. I heard Sabu tell a story about when he wrestled the Sandman, and the Sandman double dosed a couple of hits of acid. Sounds like for Sabu. Stories. The Revival is in talks with AEW. Yeah, as they should be. Yep, run in stunner. If that, I mean, that's not. If I could only have one more match with Austin, that's not what I want. Although I really do think he ended his career the way it was supposed to, with The Rock and at Mania. Tim Burton freaks you out. Eh, you guy's just a weird gothy kid. He's not even a nerd. He didn't even like comic books. It's funny seeing Goldberg try to put the Fiend over in his post-match promo. Hey Dave, what if Impact makes stars from homegrown talent? I don't know. What if? Not afraid of Vader. Okay. Hey Dave, what if Impact makes stars from home? Okay, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, what did I think of the Revolution pay-per-view? I thought it was all right. As I said, I like Moxley a lot. I didn't mind him being an AEW champion eventually. I just think it's weird that he got two WWE guys now with that belt. I really think you could have built Jericho a little longer as this heel to put over somebody else. I think that would have been. I was little, probably still would now. See, Arthur Pryor knows what I'm talking about because he's also he is scared of that as well as my friends were. Judas Creeper terrifies me or anything supernatural because I can't fight. Oh, you're asking, but what if? I don't know. What if? Then they would have done it? Like, I don't understand the nature of the question. Hey, Dave, unpopular opinion. Orange Cassidy is a solo monster in disguise. Here was my other issue with this one. The Orange Cassidy gimmick, for those of you who followed him on the independent scene and know this, it's that he is capable of wrestling. He is a tremendous athlete. So what they've done with him, unfortunately, here's my issue with it. While the match was good, the gimmick of Orange Cassidy is that he does these things to aggravate his opponent. He doesn't wrestle. He does the nonchalant stuff, and he's just too cool for school, and he just aggravates the living crap out of his opponent. But then when it counts and he's maximized, aggravated them, then he busts out the wrestling, and that's when he takes you. Now, this is a trick you could only do once. AEW fans, there are many people, now he's got greater exposure. Many people didn't know this. Many people haven't seen the wheels for it. Yes, I did out him on an episode. But still, it was a trick you could have played well, but they should have just hung back on it. It should have been for a long-standing feud. It should have been with I wouldn't mind it if there was a title on the line of some sorts, even though right now there's not a title that warrants it. But my point is, if you can make the reveal that Orange Cassidy can wrestle really well only one time. And while there was nothing wrong with the match, I don't think this was the time to do it. If maybe we had more months of feuding with Pac. Because what I think would have been great, I think Pac could have been the right guy for it. Because Pac could have been channeling his inner hatred towards Enzo Amore, like when the Cruiserweight thing, when he had all the Cruiserweights come out and talk about how Enzo's a joke. That's exactly what Pac could have been like. I took this seriously, and just go off on how mad he is about this, and going off on how important wrestling is, and how you're a joke, and he can't stand you, and all this stuff, and just keep torturing. And then eventually he starts torturing Orange Cassidy over and over again. He's the aggressor. Then they finally get a match, and then boom! Orange Cassidy just starts hitting with some wrestling stuff, and Pac just doesn't know what to do anymore, and Orange Cassidy just keeps taking him down. That was the way to me to do it. And you only got one shot at it, and they have already eroded it. So there are a few missteps. There are a few booking missteps. And the MJF thing, which I already talked about with the gig. But still liked it. Still good. It's just there were a couple of elements that I was like, eh. Crazy thing I learned is he was Fire Ant. I never noticed. Okay. Go find Memphis Blood Oath. Can't remember the wrestler's name, but that dude was pretty scary. Arthur Pryor is a schmuck. True. His opinions are supported by evidence which is bloody pants. Huh? No joke, I was working in a call center here in Egypt that handled calls for Optimum, a U.S. cable company. And on my last day, I had a customer calling to order AB. Ah, nice. You're like, let me get that right away, sir. Thoughts on Otis versus Ziggler? Yeah, it's gotta happen. I don't think it's a WrestleMania quality match. Like, I don't think we need to blow this feud off on Mania. It's not that big of a deal, but why not? It will be pre-show, if anything, which is unfortunate because I think when you have a storyline conclude, no matter if it's a low card, mid card, or whatever, you should put it on the pay-per-view. It shouldn't be done in pre-show. Pre-show is just shouldn't resolve anything. That's where you have the fluff matches that haven't been built up. But yeah, I think there are a whole reason behind Heavy Machinery being involved with Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. They're just there to continue their feud with each other. Thoughts on context of Roman Cage? It was stupid, but I always thought it would be. Nikki Cross is the pretty one of the team. Well, I think Nikki is pretty in her own right. I do think that saying that she's prettier than Alexa Bliss is incorrect. But then again, as we learned, all your taste is in your mouth, Arthur Pryor, so what do you know? Gotta love it when Randy RKO's women. I don't know if love is the right word, but I think when it's done right in storyline for wrestling, then it works. So Fire Ant was a wrestler from Chikara. Yes, I was kind of surprised to know that was him. I said that wrong. Okay. I wanted Randy to kiss Beth, like he kissed Stephanie. I think this was better. I think this was better. If Matt Hardy came out and kissed Beth, on the other hand, and said receipt, then I probably would have been in favor of that. Let's see who gets that joke. I knew some of those Optimum guys weren't from here. Well, yeah, it's like every company's call center, dude. Wait, Orange Cassidy was Fire Ant from the Colony in Chikara? Stacey or Alexa? Alexa all day. Heath Slater and Brock Lesnar encountered before Mania for Drew. They gotta stop the stipulations. And they gotta bring Matt Hardy in. If they teased yet, if this is the third tease that they can't bring in for AEW, I'm gonna be upset. However, allegedly the reason why he wasn't on AEW TV was because WWE is kind of weird about AEW guys being on their big convention this weekend, which I haven't decided if I'm going to go to or not. I probably won't. Arthur Pryor, you're an idiot. But so allegedly they're keeping him off of AEW TV until after the convention so he can be a part of it. Allegedly. Jim Cornette probably had a heart attack watching the Orange County Pac match. Maybe. You got it, Ron Hawthorne. That's right. You got the joke. I figured you would. I left out this Sterling Randy Orton, RKO, Beth Phoenix on Raw was amazing, and I had no problem. Yeah, I know. As you said. Favorite wrestling territory besides WWE/WCW/ECW? Ooh. It's a good one. Territory. I'm assuming so it's got to be back in the territory system days. And I can't say Jim Crockett because you said no WCW, and let's just say that counts as WCW. I mean, I would say Georgia Championship. I mean, I don't know if you want to count that as WCW or not, or WWE or whatever. Like, I don't know where the line's drawn, but I would say Georgia Championship. AWA, not for nothing. CWA, I mean, pick. Eliminate whichever ones you want from that list. It's Alexa, and then RKO her. She's too short, and he's too tall for kissing or RKOing. Randy Shatti's bringing back the punt to make us excited. I hated the kick. But again, I hate strikes as finishers. You're going to the NJPW MSG show. Funny thing is, I was at the first time ever when the IWGP Heavyweight Championship changed hands outside of Japan in Madison Square Garden last year. So maybe, I should definitely think about that. Jenna Moore. Let's go. Wow. Arthur Pryor going in deep cut territory. Is AEW ready for the wrath of Rebby Hardy? Who knows? But it would be cool watching her interact with Brandy. Do you believe that Von Erich family was... I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. Jake the Snake, sober is amazing. And the well, Jake, sober or not, always a fantastic promo. Mid-South Wrestling Dave? Yeah, no, true. I say Georgia primarily because I'm a big DiBiase guy. Jake Roberts' promo was as good as any WWE promo in about a decade. As good as it was, Randy Orton this week is, yeah, again, Archie Bunker thing. Yeah, eat it, yeah. We both going, and Naito will be in the main event. Ooh. Sorry, Dave. Why are you always bringing that up? Because Arthur Pryor hates that I bring it up, so I bring it up every time just to make him mad. That's the only reason I do that. In case you didn't know that gag. Like, he hates, so that's why. I watched episodes of an old wrestling show where the big boss man was Big Bubba Rogers, was the main event of said promotion. Can't remember the name of the promotion, though. How could it be said promotion if you don't know what the promotion is? Justina Valentina, and I love that we're pronouncing it wrong on purpose, is the reason I don't like redheads anymore. Fair enough. I've had my fair share of incidences with the red hair women, and yeah, let's just say I learned my lesson the hard way. Do you think anybody else deserved to be wrestler of the decade besides AJ Styles? Um, Daniel Bryan to an extent. I would still take AJ over Daniel Bryan, but yeah, AJ has to an extent. Terrell, I absolutely agree. Is Jake better off bringing Brody Lee or Lance Archer? To me, Brody Lee, because I really want to see Brody Lee do well. But I would prefer Brody Lee in NWA myself. What's DiBiase? Yeah, DiBiase was in multiple places. Like Jake hates Cody so much. There's no reason. That's true. There is no reason for it. Let's see here. It is a surprising turn. Oh, give me 1 second. Mid-South. I stand completely corrected. He's from Georgia. That's why I got that confused. You are correct. So you know what? Mid-South is now the answer. My bad. No, it's Valentine. It's Justina Valentine. I know, Justina Valentina makes more sense. It would, it would have a nice flow to it. Roshi Tanahashi, not bad, not bad. Good answer. Yeah, and I guess we got to throw Okada in this too. Sin Cara Mystico or Sin Cara Mystico. Mystico all day, baby. Have you been watching the Ruthless Aggression documentary on WWE Network? No. Bailey says familiar. Favorite wrestling year? Probably 98. It would be 97 if it wasn't for some incident on November 9th. And depending on the feud, line should be crossed. The reason why I say it is because it could be a male. Okay. Hey, Okada is wrestler of the decade, but I can concede AJ Styles in the States. I hate you, Arthur Pryor. I hate your face. I hate your face, and you're dumb in the face. You know that, Arthur Pryor? All right, let's go on. Harry Flynn, you still there? Because we got some predictions to do for the Elimination Chamber, because there's a little wager that you have presented me, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely want to do this while you were here. Was not the best. Sin Cara period was not the best in his career. No, it wasn't. But asking which Sin Cara do I prefer Mystico. Okay, let's go. And guys, if there was anything at the top of the show that you want my opinion on that I haven't touched upon yet, let's bring that up. If you got to book one current WWE superstar into the main event scene after WrestleMania, who would you pick and why? Cesaro, because I love Cesaro all day. Cesaro. I think he never got his due, but Cesaro. Arthur Pryor, Judas. What if WWE throws a curveball and has Ronda Rousey replace someone in the chamber because Vince is installed? Wouldn't be surprised. Tanahashi and Bryan for the wrestler of the decade. He started the change. Let me see what's up here. Okay, so let's go with this. All right, so the Elimination Chamber, not a deep card, which I like. I actually prefer shorter cards, but let's go up with what I'm pretty sure is the pre-show match. Andrade, the champion, Andrade Cien Almas versus Humberto Carrillo for the WWE United States Championship. Well, what is your prediction, Harry Flynn? Let's start getting that. And you don't have to be Harry Flynn to get in on this prediction battle. So put your thoughts in the comments, and I will also be acknowledging them. Some of them, at least. But yeah, so Harry Flynn, this is whoever gets the most right. The other one's going to have a punishment. Harry Flynn says Andrade, and you know what? I say Andrade as well. My major reason behind thinking this is because if they really wanted the belt off of him, they would have taken it off before his suspension for the wellness policy violation. It'd be very odd that you let him keep it for 30 days without doing anything just to take it off of him. So it's an odd choice, especially when they had the time for it. If they wanted Humberto to have the belt, they would have let him drop it to Humberto and then serve his suspension. It's a very odd choice if they make him lose it now. Philly's going to be a hot crowd, so they better be ready. Philly's always a great crowd. I think Humberto because he pinned Andrade on Monday. Oh, yeah, the go-home heat always works. Stupid. Yes, this is our great minds think alike. That's right, James Bellflower. All right, so we've got our votes in. Yeah, anybody else? Feel free to leave your thoughts. All right, number 5. Next matchup, Aleister Black versus AJ Styles. No disqualification. Now, instinctually, a lot of people are expecting AJ Styles to come out on top here because the Undertaker feud, you gotta be strong to go against the Phenom. The Phenom versus Phenomenal One. Let's start booking AJ Strong on the pay-per-view. However, there is one major thing that really tips me off to this one. I am predicting Aleister Black for the W. Because here's what we need. It would be a great way, as I've talked about before, utilitarian booking. Get as much over as you possibly can. Aleister Black getting a win over AJ Styles would be very good. And here's the rub, though. How can this happen to AJ Styles? Will this hurt his chances? No, because I think that The Undertaker is going to be making an appearance at the Elimination Chamber. It's a no disqualification match. That is what stands out to me. Why is this match a no disqualification match? There has to be a reason behind it. So I predict that the Bullet Club, because I can't call them the OC because that's just stupid, the Bullet Club will be interfering at the match, going against Aleister Black, but then, gong, lights go out and we get an Undertaker showing up. And Undertaker costs AJ Styles the match, really continue with the trend from Saudi Arabia's Super Show, and that's how we're going to set up the match. So the no disqualification stip means something to me. I think Undertaker shows up to even odds, and him and Aleister Black, shake hands or whatever like that, also giving Aleister Black another rub, but at the same time protects AJ Styles in that. So I think that's how we're going to get it. Yo, Naheem! It's no DQ, so Undertaker's going to interfere. Yep, Team Gaming, I'm with you on that one. Slow face turn for Andrade because of Zelina and Garza. David Bill, interesting point. So you guys, Harry Flynn, me and him are on the same like Aleister Black as well. You want to bet? Who wants to bet? The 30-day thing, what are we talking? I actually laughed out loud read. AJ Styles is going butt black to Undertaker. Right, everybody's kind of on the same page with this one, it seems. All right. I know a lot of people who think that AJ is winning for sure. Anyway, all right, cool. Moving on. The Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, and Montez Ford. And by the way, Arthur Pryor, I'm not jealous of that incident because you know what? Me and Alexa Bliss, have a different kind of understanding. I understand that her career is her career. But what me and Alexa have is special. Anyway, the Street Profits versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. I don't care what they say. His name is Buddy Murphy for the Tag Team Championship of Raw. Okay, so where do we stand on this one, guys? Put your votes in now. I'm going with the Street Profits. It'd be very dumb for them to put the belts back on Seth and Buddy Murphy, especially since if his little clique is going to get any kind of tag belts, it's got to go on AOP. They never should have put it on Seth and Murphy in the first place. It should go to AOP, and I kind of would like to see that. I would not be surprised if AOP are the next tag team champions after Street Profits, but Street Profits retain this one. That's what I think. You want to bet Umberto Rio wins, wise guy? The Street Profits win. What's the bet? What do I get? What do you get? What's up, Dave? Ain't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're here, Mark Shrek, but I know Albert is the one guy defending WWE making Goldberg win the title and Ricochet. That is something I would like to talk about, and Ricochet losing to Rick Moss. The Ricochet losing thing, no, there's no defending that. The Goldberg thing I actually want to talk about later on after we get through the predictions. Okay, or you just delete that. Street Profits retain setting up a Mania match with AOP. Yeah, so Ron Hawthorne, you're kind of that's where it should go. They could pull a swerve and have AOP take Rollins and Murphy's spot. Not bad. Kind of freebird this thing. Dave, I'm going to make it my mission to ask Alexa if she would go out my friend Dave, who is a resident. I appreciate that. Other people have mentioned it on Twitter, and her response has been nothing. But I would appreciate any work. If you can make that happen, I will be very nice to you, and I will. If you want me to react to your trolling and get mad, I will. But if you want me to just eat it, then I'll do that too. That's what would happen if you got that. If you made Destiny happen with me and Baby Girl. So why do I feel like CM Punk is coming back to face Seth? I don't know. I mean I would like it, but yeah, I don't have that feeling. Okay, so Street Profits. I like Seth keep saying. Okay. Can I make a bet? Double A. What are you guys betting? Can I have one at a time, please? I enjoyed the podcast video, Dave. Good work. Thank you, Doc Knocking. Always glad that you're here. Profits. Okay, Harry Flynn took a while for that vote, huh? Hey, Dave, ain't seen you in a while, but I know Albert is the one guy defending WWE, making Goldberg win the title on Ricochet lose. Yeah, I'm sure he will be. Personally, I think Asuka is. You think Asuka is huffer than Alexa? Well, yeah, it is just your opinion, and you're definitely wrong. If I win, you have to watch Hogan versus Warrior 2. Oh no! And that ladder match is show up. Oh no! What do I get if I win? Also, Arthur Pryor, I doubt you were able to would be able to tell that I wasn't from the U.S. if you judged from my accent. No, Otter. No, I know what you meant, James Beaufort. My bet is that I think Regal will get inducted in the Hall of Fame this year. Agreed this year. In the Hall of Fame this year? I don't think he'll get in this year. He definitely will and definitely should, and it's overdue. But I don't think he'll get in this year. Profits. Freebird, Authors of Pain. Authors of Pain. Authors of Pain. Arthur, give him $20 if Dave wants a bet. Will do. Want to take the bet? What do I get? Double A. Yeah, we could bet, but what do I get? What do you get and what do I get? Yeah, they should put them in there. Dealing with the ones you could tell profits. Okay, good. No, I saw Harry Flynn. I saw you made the bet. Made the vote for profits. Okay, this is going to be kind of rough. So far, we've agreed with every one of them down the middle. Okay, so next up, The Miz and John Morrison, the champions, versus The New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston, versus The Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso, versus Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker, versus Lucha House Party, Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik, versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode in the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Okay, so what's going to happen here? This is going to be a tough one, and if me and Harry Flynn have been agreeing too much, don't worry, we're probably going to dissipate here. So by process of elimination, I think it's continue to feud. I think the one-on-one feud is between Dolph and Otis. We do not need to see them having a tag team feud of Bobby Roode and Tucker Tucker Knight also getting involved. So I don't think either of these teams are winning. Both of them are getting eliminated. They will probably have some role to play in each other being eliminated, and in some way, shape, or form, I feel that there will be something there. Next, Lucha House Party with Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik. I do expect that them with the Usos is going to be, we're going to see some cool stuff with them and the Usos, as well as the New Day too. But I do not think the Lucha House Party is walking away with the W on this one. That leaves Miz and Morrison, the champions, the New Day, and the Usos. Now, this is actually a tough one, but I'm going to start by saying I don't think the New Day's winning. I'm going to take the New Day out of the equation. They just had it. If they want, and to be honest, I kind of forgot they had it. I forgot until this happened. So that's going down to Miz and Morrison and the Usos. These are the last two teams that it could be. Now, while I could see this going either way, either of these teams could win it. I'm going to pick Miz and Morrison retain. The Usos taking it off. I'm very close to saying that I would think the Usos will win. But this is a tough one. I'm just going to say Miz and Morrison retain, but I would not be surprised if the Usos won. That would be my second pick. So officially, I'm picking the Miz and Morrison. Harry Flynn, what you got? Miz and Morrison, we agree again. Craziness. I think Miz and Morrison will lose the titles at WrestleMania. Very probable. I get you to watch any Regal match of my liking. You get to change my YouTube channel name and profile picture to anything you want, and you can rename me. All right. If William Regal doesn't get in the Hall of Fame this year, I get to change your channel. And if he wins, then I have to watch any Regal match that you want. Okay. So what do you want online related? I can't see Miz and Morrison losing, just winning them. But it would be interesting to see how they have to win. I don't know, Arthur Pryor, but you better put up something or else we got no bet. So Miz and Morrison, Harry Flynn, me, and so far we are completely on the same page this year for this one. Double A deal? Deal. Double A deal. It's got to be a match on the network or on YouTube that I can watch, though. Because I'm not trying to illegally download anything. It's got to be in something that I can easily watch. That's the deal. If that's the case, then yes. I say that every time, but I'm just going to clarify and specify. Man, I know working with WWE is a big thing, but Grand Metalik under his original name was a big star in Mexico, and he had his own comic book. Yeah. Hey, Berto Carrillo too. What are you scared? You might be wrong. I want to know, what do I get from this? And we're only talking about one match. I have to watch two for being right or wrong about one match? Nay. I see your YouTube channel and I raise you a small child. Very small child. A wee child. Next up, for the Intercontinental Championship, a 3-on-1 handicap match. Braun Strowman, the champion, versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. Now, I'm very disappointed in this match because who's going to benefit from this? It ain't going to be anybody. If Braun Strowman manages to defeat 3 wrestlers, that doesn't put him over. At this point in time, his heat's cooled down, and if he just runs through these 3, it doesn't make him look good, especially when these wrestlers are fairly well liked. Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn, if they beat Braun Strowman, they're supposed to beat Braun Strowman. There's 3 of them, for crying out loud. It was the Jericho versus Ricky Steamboat, Superfly Snuka, and Roddy Piper match. Nobody comes out of that match looking any better. In theory, the guy who beats 3 others should look great, but he doesn't. It really doesn't work because it seems too worked. You know. I mean, yeah, there are gauntlet matches. There are crazier things possible, but it's you know, at least the Jericho versus the Legends match, at least they were older. These guys are arguably still in their prime, so it doesn't bode well for them if they lose. It's gonna hurt them, or you're going to cut out the momentum. You're going to really bury. I don't want to say buried, but you are going to limit or push down or de-push 3 guys in the process to give the champion, who already has a belt, and he's not really going to get much over from doing that, because we've seen him beat multiple people before. Fine, not of this caliber, but still, that doesn't help his case. But if the other 3 win, that doesn't do anything, because there's 3 of them. And personally speaking, I think now is a perfect... it's been long enough. Nakamura is ready to go face again. I think we need to see the return of babyface Nakamura, if there's any saving him. But now having to pick, I'm going with Braun Strowman, because... that's how these matches work. 3-on-1 handicap matches, the other 3 aren't going to win. So, yeah. Samurai's introduction says, Cesaro turns on Sami Nakamura. That'd be great, but, yeah, right. Well, John Doe, I'll see what I can do about it. It's kind of hard for me to watch Impact, though, so not sure if I'll be able to. I really want Nakamura to win at the Chamber because I don't see a proper opponent for Strowman. Plus... Bryan versus Nakamura is a made storyline. That is true. Sheamus wants the IC belt, so it's Philly. Braun. I'm going to get booed. I said, what do you want me to do? Online related. I don't know. You want to bet? Then you're the one who has to pony up and make the offer. Jeff Hardy versus Braun Strowman versus Cesaro, Nakamura, Sheamus. Okay. Hey, Dave. Should have Matt Hardy and the Young Bucks done the segment on Free to Delete? No, I don't think they should have. Harry Flynn says Braun. So do I. We're still, so it all comes down to one match. Dave, who is a better draw as the world champ? And unfortunately, I think we're going to agree. I think this bet's not going the right way because I think we're all going to agree. Harry Flynn says Braun. Okay, Dave, who is the better draw as the world champion? Jeff Jarrett or Shawn Michaels? Jeff Jarrett. Even though it's TNA, as champion, he was able to get TNA off the ground. It didn't win, but as champion, he carried, he did a good job with TNA. I'm not the biggest Jarrett fan, but, there's at least that. Got any ideas, Dave, for if you were to win our little bet? No. What do you want me? What do I get if I win? Tell me. Wait, no, you told me. If I win, I get to rename your channel. So, wait, what do you mean ideas? We already got it. When Regal doesn't get in this year, I get to rename your whole stuff. If Sheamus ever does win the IC belt, he's going to join Edge in the Full House Club. Interesting. Dave getting salty at Arthur. Oh, I'm just always salty at Arthur. And unfortunately, this the one match left, and we got this one. It's the most obvious answer in the world. The Elimination Chamber, the final match, the main event, Elimination Chamber match for the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. Natalya, Natty Neidhart, versus Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler versus Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Sarah Logan. All right, well, this is the obvious one. Let's see, we agree. I'm saying Shayna Baszler without a shadow of a doubt. Shayna Baszler's winning. Shayna Baszler's winning. If they wanted to do a swerve, it'd be cute if Ronda came in and cost her the championship, or if Becky came in and cost her the championship and double turn, but Shayna's winning. That's the end of it. Okay, so me and Harry Flynn 100% agree. No, not permanently, just for 2 weeks. Don't understand. Dude, I'm an idiot and just... Deal! Deal, Arthur Pryor. Deal. So, but I'm only watching... Wait. I only want to watch one of those 2 matches. I'm not watching 2 matches just for being wrong about one match. Pick one of those 2 matches, either the Halloween Havoc thing or that stupid ladder match. Pick one of those 2. Whichever one you want. You could tell me afterwards if I lose, which I won't, but you could tell me. So, if Andrade retains the championship, I get to rename your Twitter for a week. If he loses and Humberto Carrillo wins the belt, then I got to watch one of those 2 doofy matches that you pick. All right? Deal. That is the deal. And Double A, yes, I get to rebrand your stuff for 2 weeks. If I win, I win. And if William Regal gets into the Hall of Fame this year, well, we'll both win if William Regal gets in the Hall of Fame this year. But if William Regal wins, then you know what I have to do. No, I don't, but I'll figure something out. Okay, so, you know what, Harry Flynn? Since we completely agreed with everything, I'm going to do you one solid. Just to make this difficult, or just to make this competitive so we at least have a bet, I'm going to change my answer for the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match. I'm going to say the Usos. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say the Usos just so we have a different answer. I don't think they'll win, but I'm hoping now. So it all comes down to this one match, Harry Flynn. One Elimination Chamber match. The Usos winning or Miz and Morrison winning. It all comes down to this. Now, there's the possibility that we tie and nothing happens if any one of the other teams wins. But that's going to be, I'll do that so at least we got this to be a little bit competitive. So the Usos versus Miz and Morrison. That's what it comes down to for our Elimination Chamber wager. Can I change the bet to you? If you lose, you have to watch Goldberg in a loop for an hour. No, Double A. No. No. It's a 5-minute long match. You have any idea how many times that is I gotta watch in an hour? No. It's like, I don't mind watching it once because it's an interesting study, but man, for an hour, yeah, no. William Regal match of your choosing. An hour? No. One match, that was the bet. Do you have some inside... Waiting on Albert so you can make your bet. All right, fine. If William Regal does not get in the Hall of Fame this year, fine. If William Regal does make it in the Hall of Fame this year, I will watch that goofy match over and over again for an hour. Okay. So, all right. Now, real quick, I'm going to take a quick break because I got to check in on some stuff. But real quick, I do want to discuss this. So, in terms of Goldberg and The Fiend, we brought this up on the Royal Rumble radio show last night. You can go and check those guys out. But we brought this up. Now, why do you think Goldberg beat The Fiend? Why do you think that is? Now, a lot of people have speculated it was because of the ratings that Goldberg got, but that kind of got undone, or it doesn't seem to be working out as well as they would have liked. Goldberg hasn't been getting the best reaction last week. So it is proposed, and it's what I thought too. Me and Tristan Law, wrestler Tristan Law, co-host of the show, we were discussing this, and both of us are on the same page. But for different but we feel differently about it. I say the reason why Goldberg won was, let's get Roman over. If Roman Reigns defeats Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, that's not going to get him over. That's going to get his heat back. People are going to be booing him again. But if we take a guy like Goldberg, a part-timer, old man, and we have him beat The Fiend, people are going to hate Goldberg's guts. And Roman Reigns beats him, maybe Roman Reigns gets the rub by default. Now, granted, this is a very similar strategy as what they employed for WrestleMania 31 Brock Lesnar, and it didn't work, but there's the chance that that might be what they're doing. Do you think that's why they had Goldberg win and beat The Fiend, just to get Roman over? Number one. Number two, if Tristan Law brought this up, if your objective was get Roman to win the title, but also get fans to like him and like that it happened and not be super mad about it, is Goldberg winning against the Fiend first the best strategy? Is there another way to accomplish that goal? Or is there another wrestler that you could have used to accomplish that goal? What do you guys think? Hang tight, discuss it, bring me your thoughts. I'll be right back. Back. Back again is me. I am back. I have returned. Okay, so what did you guys have to say? Ron Hawthorne, no surprise. Very, 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 very astute because you got me, you kind of, right where my brain is. Imagine WWE being so stupid and want to be unpredictable by making Liv Morgan or Natty win the chamber. And Albert saying, I thought you guys didn't like how predictable WWE is. Wow. Mark Shrike, are you related to Arthur? Because you know him very well. No, sorry, it has to be both. I'm letting you change my Twitter name for a week. Scared you might be wrong? No, it's just that that's not a fair exchange. But fine. All right, you win. I'll watch both dumbass matches. To transition the boat to Roman Reigns, or nor should he. I think they have different plans for the Fiend and wanted to take the title from him. Okay, that's what you think. Or it backfires just like the Brock WrestleMania win. The Fiend goes over Cena, faces Roman at SummerSlam. I think it will be the Saudi Prince telling Vince that Goldberg must win. Oh, that's what you think happened? Yeah, plausible theory. Drew and Roman walk out of WrestleMania as champs. Seems like what's going to happen. So, Dave, just to confirm the details that the bet we have, so I know everything that's at stake. What's up? What's up? They want the Fiend to beat Cena/Roman to beat Goldberg at Mania, so Roman and the Fiend can feud later on sooner. Okay, probable. I would have the Fiend beat Goldberg, but then have the Fiend versus Cena at WW for the title. Fiend wins, but can avoid Roman winning the title like taxes. Fiend drops the title. Roman at SummerSlam. Okay, but that's not the choice. You have got to have Roman win the title at versus Cena for the title. Fiend. You have to have Roman Reigns go for the Universal title and win it at WrestleMania. That's the objective. That's the plan. But fans wouldn't be mad because the Fiend would have a good Reigns as champion. The Fiend said, yep, but that's not the option. That's not the discussion here. And again, this was from the Royal Rumble radio show last night. Vince thinks Roman versus Goldberg and Cena versus Reigns are big money matches. I wouldn't say big money, but they are money matches. That is the way to go. I've been saying that I want to see the Fiend. I think that was the route to go for sure. Roman and Goldberg do have marquee value, but I don't think the belt was necessary for it. It could, especially because here's my other issue with it. We know Goldberg is not doing no 20-minute match, okay? And Roman's not capable of carrying him to a good one even if they did go 20 minutes. This is going to be another 5-minute microwave match. We're going to get the same thing that we got out of Brock and Goldberg at Mania when he beat Kevin for the Universal Championship. It's going to be one of those. Roman is not a guy known for his cardio. He's gotten better, yes, but he definitely ain't capable of carrying that sack of Goldberg, because we also saw how Roman did against The Undertaker. He's not carrying nobody. So this isn't going to be a main event. The show's not going to close with it. They're not going to close WrestleMania with a 5-minute match. Just ain't going to happen. Post-Fiend Cena goes full heel Dr. Antagonomics. It'd be cute if it happened. But so we're not getting that. So it's not a marquee match, therefore it doesn't need the title. If it was a quick gimmick match where it's just spear battle, couple of moves, like the same move over and over again, Superman punch, game over, fine. It would be your cute little gimmick match you have in the middle of the card, give people a chance to go to the bathroom, but that was all it was. They could have worked it they could have worked the gimmick thing. Like, they could have worked it up the spear battle. They could have just hyped it up that way, and it would have been this cute little thing you did, and nobody would have been that mad about it. But instead, you want to throw this wrinkle in, and he doesn't even win the chamber match. He just comes out and says, my turn, I'm next. Okay, great. Not helping. Why do you think Regal isn't going in? Because he doesn't fit the criteria of what they're looking for the Hall of Fame this year. WWE's Hall of Fame tends to have a pattern. There usually is somebody who is no longer with us. There's which Regal still is, which is good. Glad that he is. We don't have any. I mean, we do have some people of color in with Batista and the Bellas, but we don't have anyone who's African American. And it's weird because February has come and gone, and normally they like to mention the African American nominee during Black History Month. Unless they did, and I just missed it. I could be mistaken. You know what? Let me just double check real quick. But you know what? And the reason why I brought up this thing is because, as I said, as I said on the Royal Rumble radio show, I actually think John Cena is the better choice. If John Cena had beaten The Fiend for the title and then went against Roman, John Cena might be the better option, because who do you think the fans would? Who's more likely to get the fans to like Roman, Cena or Goldberg? I mean, I really think neither one of them. I don't think you're going to make Goldberg get over. I don't think you're going to get Roman over just by having him beat somebody. Like kayfabe don't work like that no more. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think that's. If you had to pick the two, I think if anyone could get Roman over, I think Cena would do a better job. Not because fans would hate Cena more than Goldberg, but just because Cena knows how to get people over. Yeah, he does know how to bury people too, but not like Goldberg buries. And also, Cena on the other hand can get people over too. Okay, so far it's Batista, half Filipino, John Bradshaw Layfield, the NWO, but just 3 guys of it, and the Bellas. Okay, good. That is everybody there. So yeah, there is nobody of African American. There's no African American in this year, and so far everybody, fortunately, is alive and well. So that's all good. But those are the typical check marks that we also look at for WWE Hall of Fame. They usually have somebody like these are certain areas of criteria that they haven't filled out yet. Does Bulldog fit that criteria? He fits one of them. But William Regal does not. So that's why I don't think Regal's getting in. So you think you're winning? Well, of course I think I'm winning a bet. I wouldn't take the bet if I thought I was going to lose. That's just stupid. Drew Bruck is closing the show. That's what I think, yes. Marshall, we can only dream. I've just had him spear the Fiend into oblivion. Okay, you just would have had him bury him worse, though. Okay. I know it won't happen because of Owen's wife, and I'd love to see him go. Yeah, Hall of Fame. Owen, I would love to see him. Yeah, but I don't think AJ Envoy. It's not going to happen anytime soon, just because of the way the estate has worked out plans. I understand. Very good match. It's last I checked, you're able to see this on YouTube. Owen Hart versus William Regal's trainer, Marty Jones. Marty Jones versus Owen Hart. Look that up. It's a very good match, and it's a very interesting match, and it's very cool because you get to see what old British style used to be like. Dennis Rodman needs to no. Well, I think you're losing the vote. Well, obviously, both of us think we're winning. We wouldn't go into it if one of us thought we were losing. Unless you got some inside source, like your boys with William Regal, and he tells you everything. Oh, I'm getting into the Hall of Fame this year. Double A. Adam, I'm going in. If you make a bet with Dave, you'll win. Do that. Hey, Cindy Lauper needs to be inducted, says John Stallman. Thank you so much for the super chat. $2 super chat, my man. Pow, pow. Thank you so much for the super chat. It means a lot. John Stallman, you're always so generous and so supportive. And yes, Cindy Lauper is a good answer. Good answer for the celebrity wing, at least. Celebrity wing. I think Big Match John did a great job putting Daniel Bryan over. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He can put people over. People just tend to focus on his burying, which, we did, but I'm just saying. But I don't think lightning could strike twice. That's possible. Dave, your William Regal is not that bad. Thank you. To me, William Regal, British accent, but you whisper and sound menacing. Nigel McGuinness, you shout and sound unintimidating. This is the way it works over here, Maranella and me on the commentary. That's the difference between the two of them. In my head. British accent, and one whispers and the other one shouts. But thank you, James Bell. By the way, Bellflower, I have never done that before. That was the first time I ever tried a William Regal impression. I just said, let's try it out. Like, in my head, I'm like, that was the last. How do you know my name? I know, because I know your real name because you've told me before. And, like, either on the Discord you told me, or in, like, one of our conversations, with the graphic design work, which you do awesome graphic design work. Or any of the numerous times we've talked, you've brought it, or something, maybe even here, but you brought it up. That's how I know your real name. But wait a minute. Is that what happened? Did he tell you something? You're not exactly dismissing that point. A woman, someone of color. Well, they got the Bellas. There are 2 women in there. And a huge star is what the Hall of Fame usually does. Yeah, exactly. And now William Regal doesn't qualify as a celebrity because he's an actual wrestler, so he doesn't qualify that. He's still alive, which is great. So that's there. He's not the women part. They've got with the Bellas, but he's also not African American. So like he doesn't fit any of the criteria. That's why I don't think he's getting in. We have all the people who didn't. Now maybe there might not be an African American inducted this year. There might not be a black person inducted this year, which I would find weird. But maybe because they had the Bellas and Batista, they might feel their color quota is done, so their POC duties are finished. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying what they do. I don't think it's right that you always compartmentalize this thing and try to check off people in categories. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I noticed a pattern. It's what they normally do. So this is just my prediction. Not saying that they always fulfill it. It's just what they normally do. So that's just why I'm predicting what I'm predicting. But the fact that they didn't mention anyone in February is weird. As I said, they normally like to induct whichever black wrestler or black wrestling personality that they're going to put in. They normally do it during February for Black History Month. So maybe they're not going to do it this year because they didn't do it in February. That's why Dave's going to book you to lose to new person who only been in the chat for 1 second. Huh? Nick Aldis is like the happy medium between Regal and McGuinness. Huh. I can't find my pencil. I will spend the rest of the match shouting while I look. I can't find my pencil. This match is a brilliant contest. I'm looking for it right now. Both competitors really want this. I'm sure they want to win. Nigel, the match is over. What? Oh, wait, I found it. Hey man, I'm all about British people. I'm all about British culture and British people and British everything, you know. Never been to England. Always wanted to go, but yeah, I'm all about British stuff. Like I want to create like a super country where it takes like the best parts of England, best parts of like Canada and New York, and just merge them all together, and parts of America, New York as a whole, and then just shove them together, and make a super country. And then I'd live there. Hey, let's hear your Randy's. Oh, the Macho Man. Yeah. You want to hear the Macho Man impression? Yeah. You think you can handle it? Yeah. Well, can you dig it? I always wanted to go to New York. Well, fair change. Macho impression can't do it very long. No. Can't do it too long. No. Hurts the throat. That's how it goes. Yeah. You want the Macho impression? Ooh, yeah. Anywhere until I hear the oh, Teen Gaming, stop being a sucker. Stop being a mark. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Bellflower. I was going to say, wait. I thought you were going to say, do a Black Machismo impression. I'm like, didn't I just do? Like, how do you... I was like really confused. I'm like, wait a minute. Can you separate them? Best parts of New York? All of it. Except Staten Island. Give me a speech. Dave is going to be mad. William Regal for Hall of Fame 2020. He's giving a speech. Dave is going to be mad. It's not even that bad. I think I'll be madder during the punishment. Is what I'm saying. Because I haven't watched those matches. I haven't watched that. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. The wrong punishment. Arthur Pryor's, Double A's gotten me to watch that. I predict a bell curve. In the beginning, I will eventually study. I will study it because when I did the episode about that William Regal Goldberg match, I studied it. I watched it a couple of times. It's not the end of the world, and it's been a while since I did that episode. So I can look at it and still hey, look at that. But it's going to be on for an hour. Then eventually I'm going to get really sick and tired of it. I'm going to be really pissed off. And then it's eventually going to curve down again where I'm going to soak it up again. And I'm like, you know what? It's almost over. I only got another 3 more times. And I'm probably going to cool out. Why not America, Dave? I said America. I said the best parts of America, and I just straight up said New York, so I just figured that was counted. But yes, there are other great parts of New York too, of America too, like Philadelphia for sure. And he's not here right now, but Chicago as well. Love me some Chicago. And a lot of other places. I haven't been to everywhere in America, so there's other places I forgot, okay? Why does everyone think they can do a Macho Man and Godfather impression? I don't know. because I can. You want the macho impression? Ooh, yeah. You want another super chat? Ooh, yeah, but that would be another super chat. I just did it. Every time I hear the word Mark, think of when Raven said, "What a Mark." Not bad. Hey, Carmela is from Staten Island. Is she? No, Dave. Why did you say the best parts of New York? You could have just said the best parts of America. No, I said New York, but then I also said America. You might have missed it, but I said America right after I said New York. I haven't heard a great Ric Flair impression. Yeah, I can only do it sometimes. The Ric Flair is hard. Because there are certain things that I think of Ric Flair, but not everyone notices. Like, one thing, I think he says the word Tuesday weird, because I swear I have a hard time finding an interview where he says it. But when him and Randy Orton went at Taboo Tuesday, I think he goes, Tuesday! And then, like, with Ric Flair, I didn't notice this until Jay Lethal did it, but you almost have to sound like you have a stuffed nose, but you can't go too far with it. And it's, in order to beat a man, woo, you got to beat the man. Ha! Spaceman might be the oldest ride in the park, but it's still got the longest line, baby. Woo! That's Flair for you. It's hard. It's hard to do. I like Carmella. I think, yeah, no, she's cool. I thought it was a bit clunky, but I wouldn't have thought anything weird was going on. AJ Envoy, not a fan of hers, but at least she is better than Lacey. No, you bite your tongue. What does everyone think they can do? Okay, I don't know. Hey, Robert Reflex, I was just talking about Chicago. My man. No, New York is there's New York and then the rest of America. New York is its own thing, for sure. But it's the best part. Greatest city in the world. Everybody knows that. Don't argue, it's a fact. What about when Pillman did his Mark rant on ECW? Lots of predictions that Bruce Pritchard is going to the Hall of Fame. Wouldn't be surprised. Not making a bet. Not me neither. I mean, these women aren't workhorses, but I don't have to say. Well, that's fair. AJ, yeah, Alexa is getting better, but I do think Alexa is better than Carmella. I think that's crazy talk. You say she's not. In, like, every conceivable level. It can be two things. Raw. Nobody's going to say anything about my Flair impression. We're just going to let that one go like it never happened. Okay. As a non-American, I think New York and Chicago are the best parts of the USA. Yeah, and I'm kind of on point with that. I do like Philly a lot. And by the way, Philadelphia is definitely dirtier than New York, so come on. Dave Carmella is better. I don't disagree. Yeah, seriously, nobody's going to bring up the Flair thing. Okay. All right. You know when we start talking about Alexa Bliss, I don't blush. Blushing's for chumps. Your Flair was like, thank you, Bellflower. I'm glad somebody acknowledged it. The only problem, Flair goes in that category where, again, I have to be conscious of, I really have to think about it or else it doesn't work. And also, the other thing about Flair, too, is I can only say certain things. Like Al Pacino. I can't just do a full-on Al Pacino and say anything I want, but if you tell me to say certain things, then I'll say it. Pittsburgh is not better than New York City and Philadelphia. Look, I like Pittsburgh, but it was too chill. Like, coming from New York, I'm very fast-paced, and you need to have that thing. I liked Pittsburgh. I was very happy there when last time I was there. But but beyond west of Philly, it just gets too chill. Like everything goes so slowly. It's like, all right, come on, give me my food already. Come on. Why is this line taking so long? Come on, what? Look, hey, urgency. Like, and it just doesn't, and it drives me crazy. All right, Rodder Reflex, that's pretty good. Do an Alexa Bliss impression. My Alexa Bliss impression. Alexa Bliss. I'm perfect, and I'm in love with David Lee, and he's the only man for me. That's my Alexa Bliss impression. I swear she says that all the time, right? Anyway, guys, this has been a good stream today. I'm going to get out of here. Glad you guys are all here. Arthur Pryor singing. Okay, so thank you again to John Stallman for the super chat. Really does mean a lot, especially now. Yeah, and guys, if you haven't watched Wednesday's video on talent sharing, please watch it. Bizarrely low views. I don't know what happened. Where did I go wrong? Someone please watch this. And if you already watch it again. Thank you for everyone who did watch it. But yeah, oh man, I took a huge hit on that one. But yes, anyway, thank you so much for watching. And as always, Dave knows.